the grand hall of the Zyran Empire was carved from living crystal that pulsed with faint blue light. The banners of conquered worlds hung in perfect silence, and the alien queen sat upon her throne. Her form was tall, slender, and radiant with silver scales that shimmered like moonlight. She had seen 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories, and countless defeated enemies. Yet that day, when the messenger knelt before her, the queen felt something she had not felt in centuries: fear. The messenger was trembling, his voice shaking as he spoke. "My queen, the human armies are advancing again. Their leader carries the banner of Earth. His name is Leon Graves." The queen froze. The hall grew colder. The name echoed again and again. Leon Graves. The courtiers looked at each other confused, but they saw the queen pale slightly, her luminous eyes widening. For the first time in memory, she leaned forward, her voice thin and low as she repeated the name Leon Graves. In the silent air, memories began to stir, buried deep within her mind. Memories of fire and thunder, and a voice shouting through the chaos, "You think we are weak? Try us." It had been over 200 years since the last great war between the Zyrans and humanity. The queen had believed humanity destroyed after their homeworld fell, but whispers had always remained, whispers of hidden colonies of soldiers who never surrendered, of a name that never died: Leon Graves. The messenger looked up, uncertain. Should we engage him, my queen? For the first time, her confidence faltered. "No," she whispered, "not yet." Across the edge of the Orion Rift, a human fleet drifted like a shadow reborn from the grave. For centuries, Earth had been silent, burned, broken, and forgotten. Yet from that silence rose a remnant forged in exile, the Legion of Graves. Leon Graves stood on the command deck of the ship, vigilant, staring through the viewport at the dying light of a red star. His armor was old, marked by battle scars and faded symbols of a nation long gone. Behind him, young officers whispered his name as if it were sacred. They said he was the last of the old guard, a ghost of the war that had ended humanity. He turned slowly to face his crew. "The Zyrans think we are gone, but Earth does not die. It endures in the will of its sons and daughters. Prepare the fleet, we strike soon." Back in the Zyran capital, the queen's private chamber glowed with soft azure light. Her trusted general entered, bowing deeply. "The scouts have returned, my queen. It is confirmed. The human calling himself Leon Graves commands the new fleet." The queen rose from her throne, her tail flicking in agitation. "Impossible," she said to herself. "The original Graves perished on Earth 2 centuries ago." The general hesitated. Perhaps he did not perish. Perhaps he was preserved. The humans have strange sciences. Rumors of cryonic stasis or cloning. The queen's eyes darkened. She remembered the last battle, the firestorms that consumed her ships, and the lone human soldier who stood against her command armies. His defiance had burned into her memory and into the song of her nightmares. She turned to the star map flickering before her. "Find his fleet, track every movement. I want to see him with my own eyes." Meanwhile, aboard the vigilant, Leon received a transmission from the outer colony scouts. The message was simple and chilling: Zyran forces moving fast toward the rift they know. Leon smiled faintly. "Then let them come." He looked at the stars beyond the glass. "They will learn again what it means to face humanity." Far across the stars, the queen stood still upon her balcony, her gaze lost in the black sea of night. She whispered his name once more, as if the stars themselves could hear it. "Leon Graves, the ghost of Earth, has returned." And for the first time in an age, the queen felt the cold breath. The Zyran fleet spread across the void like a wall of living fire. Ships of crystal and plasma engines glowed in the darkness, moving in perfect formation. The queen stood on the bridge of her flagship Eclipsera, her eyes fixed on the distant human vessels that shimmered like ghosts on the scanners. So it was true, the humans had returned, and at their head was Leon Graves. Across the cold gulf of space, Leon stood aboard the vigilant, watching the alien armada gather. He could see the faint silhouette of the queen's flagship at the center of it all. The memories of Earth burning filled his mind, but there was no hatred, only resolve. He activated the intercom. "The time has come, brothers and sisters of Earth. We fight not for vengeance, but for the right to exist again. The Zyrans believe they rule the stars. Let them remember who gave the stars meaning." The human fleet moved forward, engines flared with white light. Missiles streaked through the void. The first clash shook the heavens. The Zyrans unleashed storms of plasma beams cutting through human cruisers, but the humans did not retreat. They fought with the desperation of a species that had nothing left to lose. Inside her command throne, the Queen felt the ship tremble. Her generals called for orders, but she remained silent. Staring at the tactical map, the human formation was unbreakable. Each ship moved as if guided by one will. She realized then this was not just war, this was defiance. Through the chaos, a single human transmission cut through the static. It was his voice, calm, steady, unbroken. Your empire was built on silence. Queen, now hear the voice of humanity. Her breath caught. The voice was the same as before 2 centuries ago, unchanged, immortal. The impossible truth settled. Within her, he was not a clone nor a copy. He was the same man. The humans surged forward, breaking through the Zyran line. Their ships burned and shattered, but they did not fall. The Queen watched as the Vigilant came face to face with her flagship, and for a long heartbeat the galaxy held its breath. When their eyes met through the glass walls of space, no words were needed. She understood he had come not for revenge, but to end the cycle, to remind the stars that humans never yield. The battle ended with silence. The Zyrans withdrew not in defeat, but in awe. The legend of Leon Graves spread through every world as a warning and a promise. The Queen stood alone in her throne, once more whispering into the dark